Do you ever feel like a hamster on a hamster wheel, not getting anywhere new? Perhaps you've hit a plateau that has you asking, is this it? Have you accomplished all you've set out to do in life and are not feeling as fulfilled as you thought you would? It is normal at midlife to reassess what's working for you and what's not. It's also normal to want to reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy. Let's make the best out of the second half of our lives by having more fun, experiencing more peace, and feeling more joy. If any of this resonates with you, then this podcast is for you. I'm Megan Bayless-Bartley. Now let's get ready to shift our shit. Hello there, Megan Bayless-Bartley from the Mindfulness Center here with Elizabeth McCormack. We're talking about perimenopause and menopause. This is episode 3. We're going to be talking about our identity earthquake, because it seems like the 40s, there's sort of this era of fuck it 40s, 35 to 55 is what we're dealing with in this menopause stage. A lot is being shaken up. So we just finished our episode on mental load, and, this kind of rolls into still sort of mentally understanding ourselves, right? And we were talking at lunch about how most people, by the time they hit their 40s in their careers, have kind of reached where they wanted to go. They got to that level, or they're almost there, or they're getting close, or they realize maybe they don't want to get to that level anymore, that they're okay staying where they're at. And so life can kind of get like maybe even a little boring or mundane. And that can be sometimes when we have midlife crises, because we need something to spice it up. We need that dopamine hit of like, what's going to happen? And we don't want that to come out sideways. Sometimes we do see where people have affairs, or, they buy the sports car and they go do, crazy driving or extreme sports or something. So, this identity of midlife, where we are perhaps grieving a little bit of our youth. We're starting to see more wrinkles, some more gray hairs, our bodies are changing and everything. And so it's a real thing.
It changes a lot. And I think when we're younger and we're so driven and focused and motivated, all of the hormones are on board. We're really have a focus and a plan. We're achieving that. We've been told by other people what our plan should be. It's all pretty clear. And we're going to work for years kind of getting to that achievement-based place. And our identity, our success, our happiness with our own life is all tied up in that, where we, finish school, whatever that may look like, transition into the workforce, we get married, we have children, we have all these identity pieces of who we are based on what we're doing.
Yes.
And I think when we get to this 40 space, we're going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because
and
it's
why
like,
am I doing this?
This isn't what I thought it was going to be. And the world is also changing. So what the job you dreamed of having looks like 20 years in, 25 years in, you go, oh, this is what being in management means? Managing people who don't want to work and don't want to be there? No, thank you. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to have anything to do with that, but I do want to make more money so I can live a decent life.
Yeah.
It's this tension we feel between being successful and having that as part of our identity. We all walk into events, parties, neighborhood functions, and what do you do for a living? And you automatically are in this space of what do you do? And now in our 40s, it's like, well, I'm getting to the space where I'm not a mom that's driving to soccer practice, that's driving kids to school, that's dropping them off, pick them up, drop them off, pick them up, like over and over and over again. I'm going to have something new to talk about. And I got my group of friends together. And I was like, we're going to learn Mahjong, because that's what the ladies be doing. And they be learning pickleball. And I love reformer Pilates. I'm going to go lay down and work out. It's the best, 50 minutes of my life. And I get to feel good about myself for doing it. But all of these little tasks we're taking on kind of is because we don't have this big goal we're working on.
Yes.
Raising the children is a big goal. It's a long-term goal.
Yes.
But now we're trying to launch them into adulthood. That just is the space that I'm in my late 40s, is launching my kiddos and making sure they're decent human beings and successful adults, whatever that means, and all the things. But it's no longer my identity. Now it's their identity. And so I have to shift to say, what do I do in this space? Who and what do I want to have happen? Because Megan and I were kind of talking, do we retire? Do we make a retirement plan? Like, we're therapists. We sit
and we talk.
We can talk and we can do that forever until our brains go. Like, is that what we want to do? What would we do if we didn't go to work every day? We're both really fortunate that this is what we want to be doing. We're not miserable in our profession. It's not the grind. This is really feels like a calling and what I'm supposed to do. I make a good, like, I'm putting good out into the universe and that kind of stuff. But the landscape of just mental health alone is changing so dramatically with the introduction of AI, with the introduction of these big companies buying up this space. And it's like, how is my profession become what I anticipated? So I might need to grieve what I thought I was going to be as a professional person. I may need to live into the space that it is and decide, can I do this for another 20-ish years? And do I want to? And how much sacrifice do I need to make to put money away for future me that doesn't even know what that life looks like, or what medically is going to be necessary, financially is going to be necessary, where my kids are going to live and where I'm going to live if I'm providing support or help to them and having other relationships or friendships, or helping my parent move through the transitions. I still have a grandmother that's alive and she's 96, and it's tough. I know she's not going to listen to this, so I can say being 96 is really tough. My other grandma lived to 97. I'm like, I got these genes that, what do I want to live that long? I'm not sure. It looks, your bones turn to dust. So how do we live well in this space? Maximize what we got, but also not live in this space of fear that, oh, I need to enjoy every minute. Like people say, oh, the years go by so fast, and you're in the throes of all the difficult things of raising small children. It's like, yes, it does. Okay. But like, I'm not trying to be remorseful of what used to be. I'm not trying to be and wish for what's coming next. I'm trying to live in this space and have my identity be about me and not so much associated with who I'm married to, who I'm raising, who my family is, what I do as a profession, but who I am as a person.
Yeah. So we're going to talk in part 2, episode 3, part 2, more about the relational aspect, because our relationships with our parents are changing, right? The identity. 100%. Sometimes we have to parent our parents as they get older, take away the car keys, take them to doctor's appointments. Our relationships with our kids are changing. Instead of being more the on-hands parent, we become more of the advisor. Our relationship with our spouses are probably changing, which we're going to do a whole episode on that. But for now, really focusing on yourself, right, is, taking an inventory of, maybe you do a values inventory of like, what are the things that I value at this point in life? If I value a stable job, do I just hunker down and keep this job and it is what it is and I've got the benefits and blah, blah, blah. I remember working with a client I love working with, and she was just like, I'm so bored in this job. And I'm like, she's like, I could do this in my sleep. And I'm like, okay, well, could that be okay? Could you be balancing this job maybe with something stimulating like learning a new language, or, doing something that stimulates your brain that's not boring, but you're using your new neural pathways in ways that feel exciting, whereas this work seems boring and repetitive, which I think we all kind of get to. We're evaluating so much in this. Some people change careers, right? Like some people up and change careers at this point in time to say, I'm done with the grind. We just had a really close friend who, quit big time Salesforce job and doesn't even know what he's going to do, but like going to figure it out because he wants to spend more time with his family, and that's things that we give up, or that we try to balance, or that we say like, okay, how much of this can I do if I want this? Back to kind of that value system is, am I okay spending this amount of time away to have this kind of job or whatever? So identity is a big thing, especially for women, because women are not always encouraged to
age well,
gracefully, to be strong, independent women, to, where it's more just like we're the tend and befriend, the get along, the people pleasers, and when we hit this phase with our perimenopause and menopause, our hormones are all over the place, our emotions are all over the place, our thoughts are all over the place, our relationships are all over the place, and so it's all being shooken up. It's an earthquake. It's this identity earthquake of like, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What am I capable of? What am I not capable of? I mean, I think it took me to my 40s to realize, like, I don't have to do all the things I'm good at. Like, I don't have to. Like, I can choose the things I want to do, but I don't have to do just because I'm good at that thing. I don't have to do it. Right? Or just because somebody asked me to do something, I don't have to do it. I don't have to say yes all the time, right? Learn how to say no. So, what do you want your identity to be? Something, we moved to Louisville. I was like 37, so starting this perimenopause phase. And I remember choosing, like, I'm going to move to Louisville and I'm just going to tell everybody I'm an introvert, right? Like, I tend to fall on the line of introvert extrovert, but man, I really like my alone time. So I didn't want anybody to feel bad if I said no, if I went home early from parties. So I would just say I'm super introverted. I need a lot of time alone. And what was funny, as I really embraced that identity, is I had a lot of people, new friends and neighbors and everything, say, "Oh, I love that you just own that." And they're like, I think I'm more introverted. It was like a secret. It was like, we don't talk about this thing. We just try our best to stay to the very end or whatever.
We also don't want to miss out.
We don't want to miss out. Fear of missing out. I don't care. I'll miss out anything.
No, you love a good Irish goodbye. Megan disappears. You have no idea. Oh, party's over. Party's over. Go.
Yeah, I'll find out about it the next day. I'll hear all the things the next day. But yeah, so part of this is like, what works for you? Like, how do I own my identity with my kids about, like, I am the morning person, I'm not the night person. 100%. By 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I tap out, and if the kids need something, I'm like, go ask your dad. I don't know, go ask your dad. If it's something really important, dad's not around, I will do my best, but they know I am not at my best in the evenings. So
there's so many jokes at my house about, it's 8:30. Elizabeth's done. Tap it out. Like, wrap it up. We got to go home. Like, absolutely. I do not do, because that's an uncomfortable space that I don't want to force myself through anymore. No. I used to stay up all the hours. No big deal. But now I'm like, oh no, I really like to sleep. I really like my bed. I really that has changed about me.
Yes.
And I would say that I was way more extroverted. And as I've gotten older and spent more time in doing therapy and having meaningful conversations, I like a smaller crowd. I like a more intimate kind of space that has more going on but less stimulation. And so I'm way more introverted than I ever used to be. I was all about, let's life of the party, let's make it happen. And now I'm like, am I ready to go home? I'm ready. Like, a small gathering sounds great, that kind of stuff, rather than a great big thing. But I think in this space, there's so many things happening. Like, our bodies are changing, our hormones are changing, our energy levels are changing. And when we try to ignore it and just force through, it does make it worse. It makes it feel so much more of a burden that we're carrying. And it's like, I'm not willing to do the things that I don't like to do anymore.
No.
I don't like to feel afraid. I'm not going to watch a scary movie because I don't like that feeling.
Right.
Why would I put myself through that?
Yes.
Like, why would I? Like, my kids can know that I don't like scary movies. And if they want to watch a scary movie, knock your socks off, enjoy. Chef's kiss to you. I love that for you. I'm going to my room.
Yes.
Have a good time. You don't need to spend this. You don't need me to hold your hand while you do it. It's cool. Do you? But there's so many pieces that I think I'm changing over time. I mean, the world is still giving women so much information about what they're supposed to be like. And I think of Megan keeps saying 50, and I'm like, I'm 48. I'm not 50. And I'm still coloring my hair the color it was when I, early on. And I'm still doing the things and the face creams and all the beauty products and all the what's happening now of what do I buy next to make the hair thicker, fuller, whatever. Like we talked about hair falling out and your hair texture legit changes. And I've been through that cycle with the GLP-1 of my hair texture changing and, I don't want to lose my hair. And how do I manage this so that I still have something still on my head? But I grew up in a world where your hair had to do with how pretty you are. And being pretty was so important. And wearing a full face of makeup was so important.
Wow.
And so when you're in this space and the products, the influencers be influencing with whatever the thing is, the barrel jeans. It's like, I'm not buying barrel jeans. That is not made for me. I'm going to wear what looks good on me. I'm not wearing tight. Tight. It's done.
Nothing tight.
No, I'm done. I'm seriously done. But I still am operating in this world where I'm like, I am aware of what my body feels like, what I've done to lose weight, what I've done to feel best in my body, and to be okay with how it's aging, how my skin feels, am I dry, am I feeling like there's something amiss, am I feeling like things aren't working the way they're supposed to, am I too hot, am I too cold, all of those things that we've already been talking about in some of our previous episodes are affecting who I feel like in my own body. And it's like the world's giving us messaging of don't look like. I remember my grandma being 50 and she was a hairdresser and she washed her hair once a week. She rolled it and had it in like the bouffant thing. And that was a 50-year-old woman back in the day. And now 50-year-old women, I mean, I was on an airplane today from people coming from Florida back to Kentucky. They were all in leggings. It didn't matter how old you were. They were all in like workout leggings. That was the standard of what most of the women were wearing on the airplane. And I was like, am I supposed to be wearing workout leggings on the airplane?
No.
I'm cold, so airplanes are cold. I'm not. But I'm also like, that, I mean, when I grew up, you weren't, you were going to wear a long shirt. If you were going to wear leggings, they were leggings. They weren't exercise clothes. They weren't compression, like bringing it all together. But all the women around me were older than me, and they were all in athletic letting, like just out in the world. And I thought, I'm just wearing a pair of jeans, no big deal. But it's still, what are 50-year-old women? What are 60-year-old women? What are 70-year-old women?
Or do they not care?
Looking like, and maybe that's comfortable. It's comfy.
Well, I'm as I reflect on my 40s, I realize it's in my 40s that I started wearing glasses. Because I couldn't see distance and I couldn't read. So now I have progressos. I had to stop wearing makeup because I had a whole inflammation of my eyelids and eyelashes and lost all my eyelashes and whatever. Like all these things, like I don't want to wear tight clothes. I don't want to wear anything that has the word skinny in it, skinny jeans, or I don't want anything that I feel like a sausage, like I'm done with any of that. It's like, so the identity of, even your own style or your own, like I told my hairdresser, I'm like, when I go gray, I'm going to go gray. Because I really didn't have a lot of gray hairs. But now that I have more gray hairs, I have some feels about that. Like, I'm not sure I like it. I don't know, like I'm not ready to be gray. So, again, back to that identity of like, do you want to, there's the external, like, what do people see about me? What do I see about myself? But also, and I know women say like as they get older, they feel like they become more and more invisible. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like I'm kind of looking because I'm tall, and people notice. I feel like when I walk into a room, like I bring a certain energy or I'm tall, and like I'm kind of looking forward to being invisible or at least seeing what that would be like. Because I also feel like, and I mean, I'm in a lot of male dominant spaces, so I feel in some ways I become invisible which like I hear conversations being had that I probably,
Wouldn't otherwise.
wouldn't otherwise, or like that was not meant for my ears, but because I'm becoming invisible, like that I hear these conversations and I find that study about humans interesting. That's an interesting topic. It's intriguing to me. So I don't know, there's something about that, but I know, that's something that happens as women get older, is that invisibility factor too.
Well, but that's like physically invisible. I think there's some emotional like
True.
invisibility of like, I'm accustomed to being needed.
Yeah.
What do I do when I'm not needed?
Yeah.
And what does that feel like? How do I change kind of my perspective about my place in the world if I'm just needed for myself?
Yes. And I think everybody around us, our kids, they're focusing on their dreams and goals. Our husbands, they've got their own shit, or partners, they're doing their own thing. They're focusing on their stuff. Like it is our time to focus on us. And I don't think we're not socialized that way. We're not encouraged to do that. So this is really the permission I'm granting everybody, all you women out there, and men, allow the women in your life to focus on themselves. And honestly, I think our my husband at least would be like, girl, just do it.
Whatever you want.
You know? And I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah, like hone in on what is it that I want? What do I want the next 40 years to look like? What do I want the next 5 years to look like?
I was going to say, we don't have to go so big. Ooh, it feels like a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Okay, well, this has been part 1 of episode 3. We're going to stop here with this, and then we're going to roll into the relationships and how relationships are changing. We've touched a little bit on this, but we'll say a little bit more about how relationship changes in perimenopause and menopause.